1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 400 women, 400 affairs, and 400 videos recorded for everybody to see. Now, welcome to this episode of Winning Minded Podcast, Winning Minded Program. This is a special recording. I usually don't do this kind of commentary, but some of my friends have requested me to do this commentary, to do the commentary on this story which has broke the internet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this story which broke like yesterday. So today is 4th of November 2024, and the story broke like yesterday, or a day before yesterday morning, about this man from Equatorial Guinea by the name of Engonga, if I'm not mistaken. I will double check the name and I'm going to write it down so that I'm accurate. So this man, apparently he has had 400 affairs with 400 different women, but the most amazing thing is that he's been recording every sexual encounter he had with each and every woman. But that's not the story alone. It doesn't end there. So majority of these women, some of them are his colleagues, some of them are his wife's friends, some of them are his brother's wife, and some of them are the pastor's wife, the bishop's wife, the fellow minister's wife, because I understand he's a senior man in the government, I think a head of a parastatal in Equatorial Guinea, a very powerful man. But I understand he's been having affairs from all over the place, from the presidential palace, from the ministries, from churches, his junior staff. I mean, he's an equal opportunity adulterer, if I can put it that way. 400 women. So people were asking me, man, we need to hear your take. We really need to understand what's your take about this man, and what you think this is. What thing be this now? Now, I have a couple of thoughts. Okay, first of all, I did not see the need. Actually, there's no need for me to go and check the videos and see what was he doing and how he was doing it. I'm a grown-up. I know I must understand. Surely I can imagine what has been happening in the background. I can imagine, and judging by the reaction of the people who've seen these videos, I understand the man either is in a wrong profession or he's just a twisted person. Now, I must give a caveat from the beginning that this man, there's a statement I've seen on social media. This man has come out to say that everything people are seeing is not exactly what people are seeing. Everything is a lie. And he went on to say that this was AI generated videos by his enemies who are trying to bring him down. I must say, that's a classic go-to defense in Africa. Every time when a politician or a powerful man in Africa is caught in a scandal or a crisis of some sort, they usually say, no, this is politically motivated. My enemies are trying to bring me down. And that is the end. Usually nothing happens. Anyway, so here are my takes. This is my thinking. This is my thought. First of all, I must depart from this school of thought of people who are saying, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. This is very shocking. There is nothing shocking about the story. What is shocking is the fact that this man was caught. What is shocking is that this thing has gone out in the open. Now, I must warn you, like I said, on this program, we always talk about mindset, and we talk about winning mindset. So we do not conform to conventional wisdom. Most of the time we say things that may be a bit outrageous, things that may ruffle feathers, but for thinkers and people who want to go deeper, you will see meaning and you will get value from how we analyze and how we say what we say. So I was saying that there's nothing shocking about the story, because you will be surprised. I have to be very careful here because this is a very sensitive story to handle. But what I want to say is that you will be very surprised. Actually, the shocking thing, what would be shocking, is if you were to discover the people you admire, the people you love, these kind of people you idolize and you adore, your politicians, your pastors, your bishops, your CEOs, your parastatal boss, your head of the armies, the police chiefs, and all these people that we usually idolize and worship and respect so much, you would be shocked to learn what they do when no one is watching, when the cameras are not running. You will be shocked to understand what goes on in government offices, when they go on holidays in the Bahamas, when they go to Miami and Cape Town. You will be very shocked and disappointed to learn that what this man has done is nothing compared to what other senior people in your country, in your government, in your organizations are doing. So there's nothing shocking about this. This happens every day. It's only that for this man is a very special character. He's a very special case. He decided to record and put evidence out there in the open. By the way, I need to let everybody know, if you have not heard the story, but I understand. I'm very sure people who are on interwebs, you must have seen this. So this man was being investigated for corruption. He was being investigated for several crimes, and then they took some of the devices like laptops and they discovered 400 videos. That's how we got to know what we know. Anyway, at this point, again, I must say everything is allegedly. I don't want to end up in trouble because nothing has been, concluded, or he's not been convicted for any crime or any crimes in a court of law. So everything is alleged at this moment. So number 2, I need to call out everybody who's saying this is an outrage, this is very unacceptable. This holy anger, indignation you are seeing right now, most of it is very hypocritical. Let me say this: majority of the men who are condemning this guy, if they were given the kind of money he has, if they were given the kind of position he has, access to these women, access to influence and connections, majority of these men who are crying wolf, they would do worse. I am telling you, because the way men are wired, the way men are created, men are hunters by nature, and this hunter instinct, this predator instinct is always with men. And borrowing from the words of Jesus, actually, I would even say some of these men have done it in their minds. Jesus said that when you look at a woman lustfully, you have committed adultery, or you have fornicated with this woman in your mind. So going by that reasoning, or going by that logic, how many women have you had an affair with in your mind? And that's what I'm saying. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth is going to speak. But not only the mouth is going to speak, actually your character is going to come out. So I do not buy this outrage. In fact, I tend to agree with the people I saw on X who are saying, "Oh, this guy is a legend. He's representing us very well." Those are people who know exactly who they are and what they are capable of doing. So, yeah, majority of the people, if given a chance, they will do worse. They will do exactly the same thing, if not worse. So number 3, I want to make a point, and on this one I have to be very, very careful because I have to be very sensitive. If a man is sleeping with the 400 women, if a man is having an affair with the 400 women and is recording these affairs, these sexual encounters with these women, and the majority of these women are aware that they are being recorded, now, it makes me question a few things concerning these women. Now, I can understand, of course, if this man is having an affair with his juniors, if this man is having an affair with his subordinates, the people who report to him, they may have been coercion. They may have been forcing some of these women or some of these ladies to do 1, 2, or 3. But at this point, the way things are, it doesn't seem like actually that was rape, it was coercion, it was forcing. And we have to be fair and also call out some of these women, because I understand this, majority of these women are married women. They have husbands, they have families. And also we must call them out. What kind of a woman are you if you are leaving your marriage, you are leaving your husband, you are leaving your children, and then you are going to do some very nasty, shameful stuff in somebody's office, in somebody's hotel room, and recording yourself? We have to be very fair. I remember when they brought a woman to Jesus and they said this woman is a fornicator. She was caught in adultery, and they said we must stone him according to the laws of Moses. And Jesus said, okay, no problem. There's always a lingering question about that story. When they brought this one woman and they said she was fornicating, was she fornicating by herself? And if she was not fornicating by herself, if she had a partner in crime, how come she was the only one being stoned? So even at this, even on this story that we are covering now, we must question these married women, because some of them, I understand, they are rich women, wives of ministers, wives of other parastatal bosses, wives of senior personnel in disciplined forces like the army and the police. These are rich people. You cannot say that you were enticed they were enticed, or they were persuaded or lured with money and some freebies. We must call them out. The Bible says that marriage must be respected by all men. The institution of marriage has to be respected. If you don't respect your marriage, at least respect somebody else's marriage. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think also there's a character problem, both by this guy and by these women. But also, number 4, I must confess that I'm stuck at number 400. 400 women. 400 women. Do you know what 400 people are? Just imagine a queue of 400 women. Look, I understand, of course, it's not as if he had affairs with these 400 women in a span of 1 week or 1 day. But where does this guy get the strength? I mean, if this is his normal, natural strength, asking for a friend, we must find this guy and get to understand how he does it. But now, a problem that I'm seeing here, a problem that I'm suspecting here, which I also have to bring out and caution my younger viewers or people who are watching me today. If this person is using maybe drugs, or if he's using some substances to enhance performance, now that is very detrimental. That's a problem. And speaking as a medical personnel, I want to caution everybody who's into the habit of using performance enhancers. And I must warn you that those things may work for a while, they may work in a moment, but in the long run, they will leave you severely damaged. In fact, we are talking about the ultimate damage, death, because most of these things, they have very very bad side effects. But of course, that's not the discussion we have today. It's not a medical discussion we're having today. I'm simply saying that we just have to caution people against this kind of behavior of using drug enhancers to perform during intercourse. Now, let's look at the solutions now, or maybe let's look at the lessons that we can learn from this story. The first lesson we must learn from this story is that every man must have something we call self-control. Self-control is one quality, self-control is one trait, self-control is one skill, or self-control is one weapon that every man must have everywhere you go. Never leave your guard, never leave your self-control, because without self-control, we can do worse. Without self-control, we are animals. Basically, it's only self-control that brings humanity, that makes you human. So apart from self-control, of course, another thing I would add here is that as a man, if you care about your life, if you care about your family, if you care about your future, if you care about yourself, if you care about your self-esteem, if you care about your reputation, we really have to question the kind of people you hang around, the kind of internet sites you visit, the kind of materials that you take in when you are alone. And the reason why I'm bringing this thing up, I mean, this is a respectable person who's been doing these exploits in quotes. This is a respectable member of the society who has chosen to behave in a manner that suggests that maybe he fancies himself as a porn star. So this brings to question, where did he get this kind of behavior? How did he become this person? Because you must understand, I'm sure, because I've seen on internet again, I've seen that he's a married man. He has a very beautiful wife. He has children, very beautiful family according to the pictures we've seen. So I'm sure at some point he used to be a very serious and respectable and respectful and a very nice guy, a very well-behaved guy. How did he become this thing that he has become, to the point that he has the capacity, to the point that he has no shame whatsoever to record what he was recording? So this speaks to the mindset that you have gathered over time. This speaks to what you've been feeding your mind. This speaks to what you fancy. This speaks to the kind of fantasies you have in your head. And these do not come out of the blue. They are developed by hanging around with people or hanging around with some materials. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to caution. Most of these sites now, I have seen, internet has been hypersexualized. Everything is hypersexualized. Everywhere you look, there's a naked person dancing. Everywhere you look, there's someone exposing themselves. And we have to be very, very vigilant so that we don't end up actually taking in and transforming ourselves into something that we don't want to become. But having said that again, let me give this warning. It is easy to say that money and power has changed someone and they have made someone to become a monster. No, it is not true. If you are a monster, you have always been a monster. If you are a monster today, just know you have always been a monster. The only thing is that your monster has been hiding, or your monster has been restricted by the fact that you didn't have access to power, you didn't have access to the prestige, to the opportunities that money and connections and the power bring. So when you have all these things and no one to tell you no and nothing to stop you and no guardrails, you become a monster. But monsters have always been monsters no matter what. So be ye transformed by renewing your mindset, because the monster in you, your character eventually is going to expose you and is going to hang you out dry for everybody to see. Okay, so I think that's what I should say about this one. Now, let me also say that the reason this is happening, when I try now to look at this deep, the reason why something like this comes out in the open, it's not that we are shocked and we say, wow, high corner, what is this thing? No, the reason why something like this comes out in the open, it comes like this becomes a teachable moment for me and for you and everybody who's going to see the story. It is a teachable moment for me and you, because we must take heed, we must be cautious. What happened to this man can happen to anybody. Now, you might say, okay, but how about him? Well, my friend, to be honest, what has happened to him is too late now. I don't think this man, first of all, cares. You may be ashamed the first woman, the second woman, the second affair, the third affair, the 10th, the 15th affair, but number 400 and you're recording yourself, probably this guy does not care. And honestly speaking, I think this is a very sick person who needs some serious psychological attention. But having said that, of course, we cannot be insensitive. This is somebody's husband, this is somebody's father, this is somebody's uncle, this is somebody's son. So you can imagine the shame, you can imagine the anguish, you can imagine the frustration, you can imagine the loss that his family may be feeling right now. And forget this man, how about these women who are married to powerful people? You are bringing your house under some kind of disrepute, under some kind of shame, under some kind of anguish. People really don't know what to do. But again, you can just imagine the children of this person or the children of those women who've been seen all over the internet in those footages. Where do you hide your face? You are a child, you go to school and people are like, oh, we saw your mom doing some crazy stuff with that serial adulterer or serial womanizer. It is a very, very hard situation for these people, and we must sympathize with them. We must really sympathize. All in all, this is a very shameful behavior, honestly speaking, and we must condemn it. We must condemn it. And I must add this. When you do your things in the hiding, I must let you know that every action has a reaction. Every action has a consequence. Positive actions have positive consequences. Negative actions have negative consequences, and this is one of them. You need to understand that you have to be very careful the kind of devices you're using today. As we speak today, it is enough for someone to send you a link in your phone. You click on that link and they have hacked your phone. They can fish out all the information, all the secrets, everything. Basically, they can empty your phone and copy it to a device somewhere. And if you have some skeletons in your phone, in your vault, because I've seen some people have phones with the vaults where they hide some top secret stuff. Be very, very careful where you go. Those Airbnbs are bags. Most of these hotel rooms are bags these days. So there's nowhere to hide. There's no place to hide. We just have to be very, very careful. So as I finish, because I don't want to drag this video longer, what do I think is going to happen to this person? Probably nothing. Look, this is Africa. We've seen people do worse. We've seen people who have shot people in the streets. We have seen people who have stolen billions of dollars. We have seen people who have embezzled the public money, and by extension killing millions of people. You are stealing money which is meant for the roads. You are stealing money meant for hospitals and medications. Stealing money which is meant for teachers and educations and classrooms. And you realize that people have exterminated a whole generation through corruption and stealing, but nothing happens in Africa. So probably this is a scandal which is going to go away for this man. And is this the last we are seeing this Mr. Engonga doing some gongering stuff on women? Probably not. You know, once in a corner, always in a corner. But never say never. I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. This guy may repent. This guy may come back to his senses, and he may change. But of course, like I was saying, the damage is done. So let's wait and see how this is going to unravel. I don't think I'm going to talk about this story anymore. I was simply doing this reaction because people nudged me to do some reaction, and when I researched a bit on the story, I realized that we can learn and teach a few lessons using this story. That's why I decided to carry it on this platform. But let us be careful out there, please. Try to have self-control. You cannot allow yourself to behave like an animal. You cannot allow yourself to be led by the flesh. As I finish, hey, how many times have I said as I finish? Anyway, so as I finish, let me give you one secret that I have used to subdue what I can call the desires of the flesh, to subdue these crazy emotions and the crazy desires that sometimes you feel like they are very hard to control. One of the major secrets that I have discovered in my own life and in the lives of the people I respect so much, it is fasting. Let me explain to you how fasting works. Fasting is not eating food. It is not abstaining from food. Fasting is for you weakening your system. Fasting is for you to allow your body to break down what you have already eaten. But in the process, of course, when your body wants food, because food is primordial, food on the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food is number one. You must need food. Now, when you need food, when your body is so weak and you are hungry, it will be so hard for you to think about having an affair. It will be so hard for you it will be so hard for you to look at a woman's thigh and start fasting and wanting and desiring and lasting. When your body is weak, when you fast properly, the proper way, because there are people who claim they are fasting, but they are doing it as fashion. So I'm saying fasting with an objective to be focused. Fasting clears your mind. Fasting clears your system. Fasting cleans your gut from all the debris that you have, that have been accumulating in your system for years and years. Fasting also is a way of detoxifying your system, but also fasting is a way of you slowing down aging. Fasting is also a way of fighting cancerous cells, zombie cells that cause cancers in your system. So, we can talk about fasting forever, but this time around, I'm talking about fasting as a method of subduing your system and trying to gain control over your flesh. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in into Winning Mind program. It's been a pleasure sharing a few things with you. We will see you next time in the next video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I can urge you to subscribe. There's nothing, you don't lose anything by subscribing. Also, if you find value in what you just saw, give it a like and give it a comment. Go in the comment section, say something. If you agree with what I have said, if you don't agree, or maybe if you have your own suggestions, or if you have something to add to what I have said, please go ahead and do it, because this was just an off-the-cuff video. It's not a very proper presentation that I have prepared. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm still stuck on 400 women. Hey, okay, see you guys, bye bye.